go ahead and get started and just pray and hope that all the technical issues have been resolved. Thank you so much for your guys' patience already this morning. We're trying something new. We're navigating new land. So we definitely thank you for bearing with us. If anyone texts you or let you know that they can't get in, the problem should be resolved now. So let us know in the chat if that seems to still be an issue. But we're so excited to see all of your faces popping in here, and so grateful that you've set aside some time to be here with us this morning. So yeah, so thank you guys. I'm so excited to see all of your faces. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So first of all, like I said, thank you for being here, and thank you for making space in your day. I know that many of us, like myself, don't have a lack of Zoom or FaceTime or house party calls in your life right now. So sometimes even it feels like, oh my gosh, one more Zoom call, what are we gonna do? But we've just been in such an interesting season and time of history that we find ourselves in. And I think the first couple of weeks when this was all kind of starting, the team, we're all looking around at each other like, what are we going to do? What does this look like? You know, especially when we believe that we provide such an integral service for women around the world. And so we kind of sat around and we're like, okay, you know, how can we be of service to people during this time? How do we think about what it looks like to inspire ourselves when we're you know, walking through this? And so here we find ourselves in planning our first global brunch event. We had hoped to do this in person one day, but thanks to a pandemic, we're able to do it even sooner, and we're able to do it virtual. So we're super excited to introduce you to all the different speakers that we have today and whatnot. And first and foremost, I just want to thank, I know a lot of our different city leaders and members in our group are on the front lines of COVID-19. They work in healthcare, doctors, nurses, our Atlanta city leader, our Youngstown city leaders, our Syracuse city leader, our New Haven city leader. She works for the Yale School of Public Health and actually just made a fascinating study on creating new COVID testing. So we have a lot of different people that are involved with what's going on right now, and so we're super thankful. And then as we kind of talked about, you know, like, what do we do on a call like this? And at first I was like, I'm sure that everyone's so inundated with everything that's going on. I think everyone would be okay not ever hearing the word COVID, but also wanting to be super sensitive that there are people that are being deeply impacted by this, either yourselves, our family members, or friends through health, finances, or job. And so we also want to take a moment to let you know that we are thinking about you, we're praying for you, and we're here for you in whatever that looks like, and that we're actively looking for ways to continue to activate our community and organization. And kind of speaking on that, just kind of want to take a quick little minute to introduce you guys to our Gals That Brunch Youngstown city leaders who have rallied the Youngstown to do some really cool things. They delivered pizzas to 2 different hospitals. They raised money for additional donations. They work with different restaurants. So I'd love for you guys to just kind of share for a minute about activating your city while we still have people logging in here.
Hi, Tiffany. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Jess.
Excited.
Here in Youngstown. So thanks, Tiffany, for introducing us and asking us to talk a little bit. There was so many women on this call from all over the world, all over the United States. So hello, everyone. If we haven't gotten to meet you yet, we're excited to meet you today. So we joined Gals That Brunch back in October, and one of the big things that really drew Jess and I to Gals That Brunch was, first and foremost, just plain and simple, the mission of Gals That Brunch, and that's just to connect women And in the spirit of really being authentic with that mission, Jess and I just very quickly started going out, introducing ourselves, making connections with local business owners, and from there, it just completely blew up. People just really resonated with the mission, and when we had our first brunch in November, we had over 60 women, and it sold out in about 15 minutes, and Jess and I truly believe that because we put connection and authenticity first, that was our first mission, we were able to recruit like-minded people who really latched on to this idea, and we ran with it from there.
Yeah, and just to kind of bounce off of what Katie just said, when everything happened with COVID-19, we made the decision to kind of leadership, and instead of trying to promote our brand, the Gals That Brunch Youngstown brand, we decided to use the Gals That Brunch brand to support other local businesses who couldn't shut down. They couldn't close their doors. They still needed support in terms of profit from the community. So we had an idea. It was like a Monday, and I called Katie and I was like, we used to organize, you know, we know how shitty that is. What if we just like see if somebody will donate pizzas? So two local pizza places offered to donate, and then we shared that with our community. And we were like, well, let's see how much further we can go with this. Let's ask the community if they want to get involved. From there, we raised over $400 to be able to supply pizzas to every single hospital in the valley. And the valley is like a tri-county area. We actually had a call yesterday with the CEO of Gifts for the hospital. Is that his title, CEO of Gifts?
Yeah, he's the head of philanthropy for Mercy Health, which is the main hospital system here in Youngstown. So we got to chat with him. Go ahead, Jess, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. And you know, he told us that was pretty neat because we were the first individuals or organizations to do anything in the community for the hospitals. And it kind of like set a little spark, and we are always like pushing our community to not just like come to these events, but also give back, because science has proven again and again, when you do for others, that's like an endorphin release, and it's going to automatically make you feel better, as well as, you know, uplift the community. And we've always kind of worked off of this mindset that you rise by lifting others. So the pizza thing was a small idea that sparked, you know, a massive movement from several other professionals and businesses in the area to really start to pay it forward and strive to make a difference in our community.
Yeah, the head of philanthropy, he told us, you know, because we're nurses, we understand what the infection control guidelines are. So we had arranged to meet the emergency workers at a side entrance so that we didn't actually go into the ERs and expose ourselves to anything. And because we kind of set that standard, they actually have a system now in place. They literally get food donations and other donations every single day now. And they have a certain door that they meet the people at, so that they don't have to bring the people into the hospital. Mm-hmm. So he was just so overwhelmingly excited by the generosity that Gals That Brunch started. So
thanks, Kaleigh.
Oh, Kaleigh is signed in from Youngstown, and she said that she works for the Mercy Health Foundation. Oh, that's really exciting. We're excited to meet you too, Kaleigh. So anyways, it's just been a really great pay it forward movement to see here in the Youngstown area. There's a whole lot of community here, and it's been really exciting to be able to lead a lot of it.
And big brand exposure too.
Yeah, we're super grateful and so thankful for how you guys have just really helped inspire and lead the way during this time. So thank you so much for sharing that. So just kind of really quickly, I was helping navigate a few more people to getting logged on. Hey guys, so excited to see you all. So I'll just kind of start off a little bit really quickly and just kind of telling you about Gals That Brunch and myself. in the most quickest way possible. So my name's Tiffany, and I'm the founder of Gals at Brunch. I work with an incredible team of board members, executives, and the most incredible, talented, and extraordinary group of civic leaders that are located around the world. We have Jubilee and Lena, who are helping co-host today. Jubilee works as a Denver city leader and COO, and has been with Gals at Brunch for 4 years. Lena is our CMO and Milwaukee city leader and has been with us for 3 years. And we have tons of amazing, incredible city leaders on this call today. So if you guys wouldn't mind waving in the chat, waving on your video, we want to honor you guys and thank you so much for all that you guys do to pour into your cities and all the women that are involved in this organization. We're so thankful for, I mean, we honestly have the most astonishing group of women that are involved in this. So a quick intro. I was raised by my grandma. I grew up in a really challenging and tumultuous family dynamic and circumstance that have all been redeemed. However, my life calling has literally been set aside since the makeup of that, because I was literally raised by a village along with my single grandma. And I was raised by so many different people, different generations, different seasons and times. And now my spirit carries that. And I have a profound gift that I love to, for the rest of my life, to forge community, to create space for community and family, and to help create home for others. Gals at Brunch started almost 5 years ago after one of the most heartbreaking seasons of my life. I was sitting in the ache of hope deferred and about to make my third cross-country move in the last 5 years. And I couldn't believe I was putting myself in a position of not knowing anyone, having to rebuild my entire community. I started Gals at Brunch with the intention of finding community for myself. However, I do Gals at Brunch, and I've committed the rest of my life to doing Gals at Brunch because I never want another woman to ever have to walk through life feeling alone, feeling like they don't belong, and that they aren't able to easily or accessibly be able to find their tribe or their community. In Gals at Brunch, yes, we do love brunch. We're always on the search for the best brunches, but it is within the community that we believe that we get the opportunity to become part of something so much bigger, like we're doing on the call today. In this community, you're seen, you belong, and you're worthy to be known in all that you are. And in this community, on the days that you don't feel like that, we're here to remind you how loved you are, how incredible you are, and that we believe in you. And when a group of women come together to do just that, we believe that it changes lives, atmospheres, cities in our world, and the table and breaking bread together is where I believe that we experience some of the greatest healing in our lives and in our land. So without further ado, we set the table to empower women and to create space for community. We have over 115 chapters around the world, and we're so thankful that you guys are here. If you guys have any questions about Gals at Brunch or anything like that, feel free to directly email me after the call or sometime this week at tiffany@galsatbrunch.com. And I would love to turn it to our first guest. We have Kaleigh. I missed the slide, but yeah, we have women from 6 different countries and 41 different states today, so we're super excited. But Kaleigh is our Indianapolis city leader. She's a CPA, Taylor Swift lover, and also a Orange Theory fitness coach. And so she's going to help us kick off today. So Kaleigh, I give it over to you.
Thanks, Tiff. Can you guys hear me okay?
You guys, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I'm totally skipping around here, but yeah, we'll start off with Kaleigh. Go for it.
Is that all right? You good with that?
All you, girlfriend.
Cool. Can you hear me okay? Everyone's good? Volume-wise? Cool. Hey guys, Tiff, thanks for that introduction. Guys, I am Kaleigh Branson, Hutchinson. I live here in Indianapolis, Indiana, with my husband, my 2 cats. It's really like 2.5 cats because one of my cats is big enough to like probably account for 2 cats. But let's see. So I work in sales as my full-time job, but I also teach Orange Theory Fitness. So if you've heard of it, it's like a HIIT-based workout. Again, when the gyms are open, right? I teach Orange Theory Fitness in my quote-unquote spare time. I found Orange Theory when I was kind of at one of my lowest points in life. I was really stressed out with work. I had gained a lot of weight. I was really uncomfortable with myself, unhappy with myself. And an Orange Theory had just opened up. And I kind of been dabbling around with like home workouts and working out on my own, but I just like was missing the community piece of it. Like I just missed kind of having people around me to push me, to motivate me. So I found Orange Theory. I started off as a member. I completely transformed my life. My husband and I's relationship got better because I mentally got better. I felt better in my own skin. So I'm kind of here today to talk a little bit about movement, right? So we're all living in this new world. And right now, I think we should all probably consider it almost like our new normal, because we don't know what the future is going to look like. So why dwell on what we had in the past and why say, oh, I wish it could be this way? Well, let's just kind of make do with what we have, right? Like put things in perspective, right? Make do with what we have. So, you know, when Tiff and I started talking about kind of this virtual Gals That Brunch and what it would look like and blah, 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 I was like, oh, I'll put them through like a 30-minute workout. Like it'd be great. Like we'll do burpees, we'll do squats, we'll do all this kind of stuff, right? We'll do a nice little workout as a community. And then the more we started kind of thinking about it and planning it out, we realized like, you know, we definitely want to hit on the importance of movement in your life right now. Yes, I just saw someone saying have to be willing to adapt. Completely agree. So I wanted to really take you through this like crazy workout, 30 minutes, sweaty, gross. And then we all like drink champagne during, after, et cetera, et cetera. But then I kept thinking like, you know, we have like 6 different countries represented. I don't know where people are going to be doing their workout from. Like, you know, I don't know what kind of equipment people have access to, which by the way, we'll talk about this in a second. You can make do with a lot of things in your own home. But if we're going to talk about movement, like we should probably move, right? Like in order to kick this off. And I don't know about you, but we sat for a little bit waiting on some technical difficulties. And we've been sitting in our chairs for a little bit. So here's what I'm going to say. We're going to get up and together we're going to have a virtual dance party. You don't have to do the hardest workout. You don't have to have all the fancy equipment. You just need to move your body. So I have 3 songs queued up, whatever the phrase is. And we're all gonna get up. Guess what? I can see you. And we're going to have a little dance party. And if you're sitting there being a negative Nancy saying, oh, I am not standing up and dancing. That is so embarrassing. That is so awkward. Honey, look around. You're in the best place to be able to do that. You're in the best place to be able to shake what your mama gave you. For the record, I love to dance, but I've never had a formal dance class in my entire life, right? However, in my head, I think that I am not just Beyonce, I am better than Beyonce. Okay, so that is the energy that we are getting ready to bring, and we are all going to stand up. I know you're like, oh, I just ate. Drink and move your booty. It'll be okay. It's not going to last long. Keep in mind, I could have done this for 30 minutes. You got like 90 seconds of a little dance party. Are we ready? Yes? No? Turn your mic off for a second. Can I get some energy in my room? Are we ready to shake our booty? I can't turn it up anymore. I'm trying.
Barely hear it.
All right. Did we move? Do you feel better? The answer to that is you do. Have a seat. Can we please take a quick little cheers break? I don't think we did an official cheers break after Tiff, did we? So let's do it right now. Cheers to your dang self for shaking it in your apartment, in your car, on your couch, wherever you are. Cheers to getting outside of your comfort zone, moving your body. Cheers real quick. Cool. All right, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm out of breath. T-Swift does that to me. Okay, so I only have a couple minutes left here, so I want to keep us on time. So I just want to kind of chat a couple things about a couple things here. So I'm getting a lot of questions, and I'm getting a lot of complaints, right? As an Orange Theory coach, I get messages on the daily from my Orange Theory family. If you've not heard of Orange Theory, guys, I'm literally sweating after like 30 seconds of dancing.
Orange Theory is crazy workout.
It is crazy. It's crazy good, right? Like it's crazy
Yeah.
good. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. So I'm getting a lot of like, oh, I wish we could be in the studio. Oh, I can't like motivate myself to go to class. Like, here's what I'm going to say. You have so many options. And honestly, like right now is a really great time. So here's what I'm doing. I'm listening to my body, and I'm doing things that I don't typically get to do, right? So I know that I coach at Orange Theory, and I know I'm going to get frowned upon when I say this, but I love Barry's Boot Camp. I love it. I love Barry's Boot Camp. We don't have a Barry's Boot Camp here in Indianapolis. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I am going onto Barry's Boot Camp's website, and I'm taking their free classes, or I'm signing up to take a paid class, right? Like, this is such a great time to explore other avenues, to shake up your routine, to try things that you don't typically get to do. The biggest kind of frustration and complaint that I'm hearing from a lot of people is like, my routine is off. Well, create a new routine, right? Still incorporate movement, still incorporate the importance of just getting up and having that moment for yourself. 30 minutes, right? Like, I'm a huge Rachel Hollis fan. If you know me at all, you know I'm obsessed with two things, Taylor Swift and Rachel Hollis. And I think Rachel Hollis's slogan is like, move your body every day for 30 minutes. I love Dave Hollis too. Kerry Miller, I love him. My future husband. Move your body every day for 30 minutes. And guess what, guys? It doesn't always have to be the most, strenuous workout. I did yoga this morning for 20 minutes and I felt like a brand new person, right? I'm able to try different classes, go onto YouTube. If you're like, oh, I'm stuck at home. I get it. Most of us are stuck at home right now. I hear a lot of excuses like, oh, I can't work out in my house. I can't work out in my apartment. Like, no, that's like, I love you all, but I'm like a big believer in tough love. That's an excuse you're telling yourself. Like, you can move the coffee table. You can do so many things from your couch. You can do tricep dips from your couch. There are workouts on YouTube that basically are like couch-based workouts, right? So the biggest thing that I just want to say is, don't let yourself fall into that like excuse pit hole. It's a bottomless hole. This is inappropriate to say, but my dad used to tell me this all the time. Like, excuses are like buttholes and everyone has them. And I'm sorry if there are little kids around, but I wanted you all to know that. So cut the excuses, find something new, listen to your body, try something that you enjoy, try something that is going to challenge you mentally, is going to challenge you physically. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but the reason why I'm so passionate about getting not just myself moving every day or getting my Orange Theory family moving every day, but it's simply because I know that movement's only a piece of it. And when you move your body, you do something physical for yourself, your mental capacity, your mental stability, your mental health just improves with that as well, right? So to me, I'm at a point now where it is not about changing myself physically drastically anymore. It is, I work out so that I'm mentally stronger, I'm mentally tougher. Like I said earlier, my husband and I's relationship has greatly improved because I work out. And in fact, there are days where like, if I haven't worked out yet, and he'll tell me like, you need to go to the gym. Like, you need to go for a workout. You need to go for a walk. Like, because there's such a correlation between your physical and your mental health together. I kind of want to pause there. I'd love to, I haven't really read the chat, Tiff and Jubilee, but I'd love to kind of hear and maybe open this up for a little bit of discussion. Like, what are you guys doing during this like time of quarantine to move your body? What are you guys doing, to kind of stay mentally sane, to kind of stay fit, to stay healthy, to stay active? Because I'm here to tell you, I'm a firm believer in one day that, we are going to return semi to a new normal, whatever that may look like. But one day my gym is going to open up again and I'm going to have a classroom full of people. But, I want you to be doing things now that are going to continue to kind of grow and improve. I don't want you to get stagnant and stale and stop now. I'm a firm believer in, today's struggles are tomorrow's strengths. So what are you doing? Maybe just turn can we just like have a conversation about it? Can we just like turn our like one or two people just chime in? Like, what are you doing right now that's helping you that you could share with the broader group?
Hey guys, it's me, Narcissa. I'm out in Charleston, but for me, I like to stay active daily. I jump rope, I ride my bike. Lately, my new thing has been looking on YouTube at Brian Talgood's like dance choreography, because I love dance as well. So awesome job, you did a great job. But I've been doing his choreography in heels, so that's a workout as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hi,
I'm Pure Bar Girl. Go ahead. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm Andy. I'm the city leader for Spokane, and we actually are really blessed. We have a lot of people in our community that are big fitness instructors. And so we have a gal who's on Instagram. Her name is Jamie, but she goes by Fit Ragamuffin. She's hilarious. She's probably one of the most down-to-earth people. And just like you were saying, she gets everybody out there just to move. I mean, that is her own focus, is just get off the couch, just move for at least 30 minutes a day and you're good to go. If you're looking on YouTube, there's another good group for ladies that like to dance. There's a company called Shine Fitness, and they do dance classes that are so much fun, and they're out of Boise. So if you're looking for fun things to do that are free, there's lots of opportunities out there.
Agreed.
Hi,
What else? Anyone else?
girls.
Cool. All right, guys, thanks for pitying me. Thanks for dancing along with me. I know it was weird. I know it was uncomfortable. You think it was normal for me? I don't like typically put my phone on camera and like dance to it. Okay, that's a lie. I do some TikToks by myself. They've never been posted. But thanks for joining in. Move your body. Questions, comments, concerns, happy to answer before or after this chat. Find me on Instagram, all that kind of good stuff. Other than that, Tiff, I think I'm going to hand it back to you for a second.
Perfect. Thanks. All right. Jubilee or Lena?
Yeah. So one thing that we did also want to talk about, as Tiffany said, we've got quite a few of our city leaders on. You guys probably just saw a poll jump up. We'd love for you to answer what's your favorite brunch drink? So go ahead and answer that. Get you guys involved, get a little engagement going here. Another city leader that we have on the call is, we've got some sisters in the north. And when I say north, I'm talking about Canada. All right, so shout out to all the Canadians on the call. We've got a new city leader that just started the Ottawa chapter, and she is joining us today. It's Carolina. She is on, and she wanted to just kind of in that same vein of fitness and mental health, wanted to just share a quick app. So I'm going to give it over to you, Carolina.
Thanks, Jubilee. Hi, guys. I'm Carolina, and as Jubilee said, I just started the Ottawa chapter a couple of weeks ago. I was a little hesitant since we're all under quarantine. We can't really go out and meet new people, but I took the opportunity to just kind of get the ball rolling until we can actually meet. And once I found out about our global virtual brunch, I wanted to share this app with you guys. It's really changed my life, and it's currently completely free to anybody who decides to download it and open an account. And it's called Dive Through. And Dive Through is a journaling app that guides you through different journaling activities. And it focuses all on different areas of our life that we need to work on. So it could be from a breakup to getting motivated to go to work, to getting motivated to work out. And right now they have a special journaling exercise around the pandemic and how to get through it together. So I really, really like it. If you've always thought about journaling, or you've always wondered how journaling can really change your life, this is a good way to start, and it like walks it all through with you. So I'm gonna leave the link to the app briefly on the chat. So if you're interested in downloading it, go ahead, download it, and it's completely free for the time being. And I just wanted to take this chance to share it with you guys because it's really changed my perspective on life. It's really helped me focus on things, and no matter what you're going through, it's got different exercises for anything you can think of. So I encourage you to check it out, and thank you for having me. This is also my first global virtual brunch ever, my first event with GTB, so I'm very happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Carolina. Appreciate it. Yeah, so if you're in Canada, to be honest, I don't know all the different provinces where everything is, but if you're in Canada, check it out. We've got a few chapters actually running in Canada and more to come. So please stay connected with us there. And on that note, I think Lena's going to lead us into our cheers for our next speaker.
Yes, so everybody, I'm going to ask you to grab your glass again. We are going to cheers to our healthy bodies and doing things that are good for both our bodies and our minds. So thank you, Carolina, for sharing about the journaling app as well. So cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
And it's giveaway time. Oh,
It's okay.
if you
I'm
could
going to
mute
make sure
yourselves,
that
that
they're
would
on
be
mute.
great. It is giveaway time. So we are going to be giving away one of our Gals at Brunch totes. So I know that some of you guys have been doing this already, which thank you so much, but we're going to ask you to grab your phone, take a screenshot or a picture of your virtual brunch setup or your food, and either share it on your feed or share it on your story and tag Gals That Brunch. And for everyone who does that, you'll be entered to win. So I will announce the winner shortly in the chat box. So stay tuned as I get to check out your pictures that you've been tagging us in. So with that, I am going to introduce our next speaker. I'm so excited to introduce you to Sarah Caleb. In case you haven't seen any of our posts or if you didn't have a chance to check out our blog posts about the speakers, Sarah is a growth and impact consultant who helps her clients engage their strengths to overcome setbacks. So I'm really excited to hear from Sarah today. So Sarah, take it away.
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No está en el carrito.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. So, yes, I am really good friends with Tiffany and such a fan of the That Brunch event. So I'm super happy to be here. And as they said, I do two things actually. I am an oncology nurse at a cancer hospital here in LA. And then I work as a coach and a consultant with a company called Revenue Tribe. And what we do, if you were to drill it down, is we basically help people, whole corporations or organizations really get down to the root of who they are, what matters most to them, what they do best in their purpose, and then what's most likely to get in the way of that and try to stop them, and how to get that out of the way. And we do that through individual coaching, group workshops, that sort of thing. But the whole premise that kind of drives the work that we do is this discovery that we've made that I'm going to kind of talk about throughout the day, that our greatest place of pain and our greatest place of success or happiness are really just two sides of the same coin of our purpose, and they both actually shape us equally. And the only thing that makes the pain or the success really good or bad for us is the subconscious core beliefs that we form around those. And so what I do in my coaching is I just kind of help my clients get to the root of what they're believing and help realign those beliefs in a way that's empowering for them. And we do that through using everybody's unique, specific story. And that's kind of what I want to do just for what I'm sharing right now, leaning off of that whole concept of pain and success shaping us equally. It inspired me so much because it really put into words and into action one of the greatest epiphanies I've ever had, and it was what inspired me to want to take on a whole second career. I wasn't actually looking to do that, but it really plays into that epiphany, which is what I'm going to talk about today, which is navigating through adversity. And I think we've already mentioned it already. It's no shocker to anybody that we've had some roadblocks thrown in our way. And I don't know how your quarantine has been. Mine's been a little bit of a bipolar roller coaster, and I've had to sort of ground myself into these things that I learned. And when I was in my 20s, really going through college the first time, I was fascinated by the health sciences, but I thought I couldn't handle life and death situations or bodily fluids. I was a little risk adverse at the time, and I had some limiting beliefs holding me back, which is a story for another time. So I did a business degree, and to celebrate being done with school forever, I did a trip to Africa and the Middle East, which wouldn't normally have been my first pick, kind of a long story on how I ended up there. But when I was there, I was really hit with some of the intensity you'd expect of like no electricity, no running water on and off. But there were some other intense experiences that I was not at all expecting. Like one day when I was at the place we were staying when the team was away, a bushfire broke out and was headed towards the orphanage on the premise where we were staying, and like literally ended up beating down flames with a wet sheet. I swear it was like something out of Little House on the Prairie. It was insane. Or when one of my roommates got sick and we were literally having to like hold her up and take her to the bathroom and do all those things, and lots of other really intense cultural, physical things happening that I wasn't expecting on. And these were normally things that I would have avoided like the plague. Like, remember I said I was risk adverse. But I remember lying awake in shock in my tent in the middle of the bush of Africa, still super uncomfortable, mind you, but feeling the most satisfied and alive I had ever felt in my life. And I realized I used to watch, you know, commercials and feel sorry for underdeveloped countries and be like, wow, I'm so much luckier than them. And I'm not belittling the problems of underdeveloped countries at all. Like, I get that I got to have my experience and hop on a plane and go back to my air conditioning and takeout, but I had never been immersed in pressure and challenges like that before. And what I realized was the intensity that I was in activated in me things that I never knew were there and wouldn't have discovered had I not had that intensity. And I realized I actually don't have a problem with bodily fluids or life and death. When I see a person that I value on the other side of it, I actually spring into action and come really alive and start being my best self in those situations. And I realized in our country, up in, you know, at that point, I had been able to protect myself. We have the privilege in our country to protect ourselves from a lot of the things that would actually activate in us things that we were meant to do. And a lot of times I didn't realize I had, by protecting myself and trying to keep myself comfortable, I was actually protecting myself from the creativity, the tenacity, and the ingenuity that I didn't know was there the whole time. So I realized at this point, like, there were so many transformations that happened in my life with this discovery, but I realized I don't have any more excuses not to get into healthcare. And so I actually came out of it with a whole new career. And so I'm not just saying this, like, obviously we're all here, we're locked in our houses, and I'm not belittling the hardships that we're faced of our time and be like, it's fine, you're gonna have a whole new you when you're done and a whole new career, it's gonna be great. Because there's a whole second aspect to adversity. And when I say adversity, I'm meaning pressure, challenges, whatever you want to call it for you. But there was the two aspects of, number one, realizing the pressure activates you in a way you don't realize. But number two, there was a lot I had to process being thrown in these situations. The culture shock, the trauma that I was seeing, just all of the things that were happening. And I actually had to take some time to be kind to myself and really process those things. Because when I tried to just gut my way through it or ignore it, I would either shut down or melt down to the point where I couldn't be functional. And in those high intense adverse situations, you can't afford to not be functional, right? So it forced me to really come into contact with myself and give myself room to breathe without judgment. And so I think that a lot of the times in our culture, because of, I'm trying to think of how to say this best, because we are physically comfortable, we can sometimes belittle the challenges and pain that we're feeling and either ignore it or beat ourselves up to move on. And adversity doesn't let us do that. And so when we're missing out on the intensity that adversity gives us and we don't have those parts of ourselves that are activated, sometimes I feel like we live a subconscious life that's a little bit restless and unfulfilled. And the byproduct of that can be some anxiety, irritability, and even underlying depression that we're not tapped into and that we can't really explain or understand or resolve. But when we have the courage to lean into the discomfort of the pressure that's going on, we can let those things activate in us what we didn't know it was there. But then when we also have the compassion to let ourselves process the thoughts and feelings that are happening without judgment and without shame, that's a winning combo to really have a transformation in what would have normally been challenging circumstances. So that just brings me to some questions that I have for you. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do breakout sessions. So normally what I do with my clients is I'll ask, I do a community group that we meet every month, and I'll ask a pretty deep question to just kind of make people think more intentionally and help move you forward. And so what my questions are for you today is, what is one area in your life where you need to be kind and patient with yourself, where you navigate adversity? So right now, I feel like these Zoom calls is where I need to be kind to myself, because I get so burnt out after them, but I also need them so badly. And so I have to just kind of say at the end of the day, you know what, Sarah, you're more tired and cranky than you normally would have been, and that's okay. And then the second question is where's one area in your life where you need to lean into adversity or lean into pressure and let it activate you? And so for me, that would be this moment right now. We're all stuck in our homes, and I love public speaking. I hate online speaking live stream because I don't feel the energy of the room and I can't really have that connection with people. But this is so good for me because it's helping me drill down into myself and realize, you know what I have to say is relevant no matter what I'm picking up from the crowd, or no matter who I can feel or not feel, my voice needs to be heard. So I don't know, you guys, do we want to do a breakout session or should I just call in a couple people?
I think because we had some tech issues this morning, let's stay safe.
So this is something to just think about when you go home today. And I would encourage you to grab a girlfriend, grab your glass of wine, and just kind of talk about it. Because I think it's in the process of hearing ourselves talk out loud, but then hearing each other as well and hearing the feedback from each other that we really activate and come alive. So thank you so much. I love this. I'm going to cheers to that.
Yay. Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers. Thank you so much. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes, kind of.
So thank you, Sarah, for that. That was awesome. I know we just cheers, but I just wanted to kind of bring that together and say cheers to overcoming adversity. So cheers, ladies. Thank you. So I have the privilege to introduce our next speaker. And while that's coming up, you'll see another poll that just popped up. If you guys want to take a second with us, what type of avocado toast do you like? You can fill out that poll and I will introduce our next speaker, which I'm super excited about. Our next speaker is Karissa. She's also known as KK. I'll let her say that, but she is a Tony Robbins top female trainer and performance strategist, and she is going to ignite you to fearlessly pursue your goals by living by design. So welcome, KK.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
What's up, everybody? How are you doing? If you can hear me, give me a yeah, baby in the chat box. Put yeah, baby right in that chat box if you can hear me. Let's go. There's 187 of you, so I expect 187 yeah, babies lighting up that chat box. I am so excited to be here with many of you today. How many of you do I know already? How many of you have ever hung out with me on an online training, in person? Where have you seen me speak? Do I hang out with you on social media? I'm so fired up to be here. I just want to say, before we do anything, we need to take a moment to say thank you to the beautiful women that organized this opportunity for you all to gather here today. And for me, I'd like to give a special thank you to Tiffany because we met, she saw me speak at an event in California. And this event with this group of women is actually the reason I do what I do today. So you heard it before. My name is Karissa. People call me KK. And I am Tony Robbins' national speaker. That means I travel about 350 days out of a year when we don't have Corona. I work with companies and teams, groups, organizations on all of the fancy topics that we all know and love. Leadership, peak performance, sales mastery, public speaking, which we know Sarah loves, just getting to the next level, full congruent, living in alignment, your patterns and your habits. How many of you are just ready to light your life on fire this year? If you are feeling ready for that and you could use a little zest and spunk and fire, give me that yeah, baby, one more time. Let's go. Let's go. So Tony Robbins is the first person we need to talk about today because he's the #1 success coach on planet Earth. And I am basically Tony, but cuter and shorter and younger and a woman. And I'm also many years behind him. So Tony, at this point in his career, 43 years into it, he's worked with the most successful humans on this planet. People you all know: Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Mark Benioff, the founder of Salesforce.com, Leonardo DiCaprio, for my ladies up in here. I was with Selena Gomez at his birthday party last month, all the way to the Kardashians, and Kevin Hart, and Will Ferrell, and he coached Bill Clinton when he was 20 years old. Now, when I joined the team about 2 years ago, I'm the first woman in the last decade to hold the role. What up, ladies? Cheers to that. I chose coffee today. I started meeting other women that on the inside felt like I can do more, be more, give more. And when they had like a little taste of this self-growth and development and this kick-ass mindset, they got all lit up. And then they would go back to their normal day-to-day programming, and it was like they had two parts of them. This part that wanted to like get to this high level, and then this other part that was kind of stuck in the normal, so that the future was staying stuck in the future. Who's ever felt like that before? Like your future, your dreams, your goals are kind of stuck in the future, and you're living your day, and your day is turning into a week, and it's turning into a month, and it's turning into a year, and before you know it, 10 years went by, and you're like, this is not my story. I can give more to the world. So I started recognizing this. I'm speaking at events. I'm with Ellen DeGeneres 2 months ago and her team. And then I'm recognizing when I'm going into these companies that there's these incredible women who want more. And the only thing missing is the community and the connection. That's why I accepted the invitation to speak at Gals at Brunch today, because what you guys are doing here, holding space, you have 190 of you on, holding space for one another to grow to the next level, that is our responsibility as women. So the first thing I want you to know, and that I want you to let it sink in, is that no one in this world would be here if we didn't birth them. You know what I mean? This world wouldn't exist if it wasn't birthed by a woman. So are we powerful creatures? Yes or yes? Are we powerful creatures? Yes or yes?
Yes, baby.
Yes, baby. So we know we're powerful. We know we're powerful beyond measure. And why are you here today? Why am I here today? So about 200 days ago, and Tiffany is a part of this, I launched something within our company. So our company has been around for 43 years. A 43-year-old company in the self-development industry. And I'm sure many of you have been to our events, like you've walked on fire and done that stuff. And it's led by a man named Tony Robbins. And I was like, we need to have a little feminine sprinkle up in here, okay? So we created something called Unleash Her Power Within. It's the first, the biggest, the largest community of women that attend Tony Robbins events and study the Tony Robbins curriculum. We attend Tony Robbins events in like matching denim jackets. It's the coolest thing ever. And I created an 8-week course, an 8-week training. That's essentially what I'm going to do here with you today. It's a combination of all the sexiest, fireest things that have ever existed in the Tony Robbins world. And I want to condense it down. And I've got about 30 minutes with you. And my shortest event is usually 2 hours if you've been on a training with me. So here's the thing. Before we dive into this, there's a few things I want you to know. Number one, I'm not the best. I'm not the end all be all. You're not on here because I'm so great. You're not excited today because KK is the best. I literally know a guy that knows a hell of a lot, and I've memorized everything he's got. Who's this guy? You tell me. Who's this guy? Who is this guy? Give it to me in that chat box.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah, baby. Tony Robbins, TR, the man, the myth, the legend. So what we're going to do today is uncover some of the principles that he's identified that separates the difference between success and failure. Because my guess is that if you're on here, let's just get right to it. You want more success, or you want more love, or you want more vibrancy, or you want to tie your ass, or you want more money, or you want more connection in your relationships or in your businesses. Everyone in here wants something. Why do I know that you're like that? Because you want to get to another level. You wouldn't have joined this call if you didn't want to get to it. And I happen to know a guy that knows how to get you to the next level. What Tony's about is creating what we call a massive action plan. Where are you? Where do you want to go? And how are we going to close the gap to get you there as fast as humanly possible? So for this to happen in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to ask all of us on this call to play at what I call a level 10. Level what? Level what?
10.
What's a level 10? First things first, I want you to take control of your body. Some of you, I was looking through the video before we started, and you're sitting down on your couch, and you leaned over, and you got your arm on your chin. I want you to snap that body up, shoulders back, let the girls out, lift your head up, put your feet flat on the ground, engage your core, engage your brain, light up. I want your body to feel excited on your command. I want you to get back in control of your body. Bend and freaking snap, says Mary. I love it. All right, stick the boobs out, stick the head up, light up the body. The second thing I'm gonna ask you for a level 10 is you shout back answers on your end of the computer screen with your mute on. Make sure all of you are muted. If I say level what, you should be like 10, KK, 10. Next thing, I want you to light up the chat box. If you like what I say, give me that yeah, baby. Say, I feel you, KK. I'm with you, KK. Let's go. I'm into it. This feeds my ego and it lets me know that you are with me. Next up, get in the game. Get in the game. Get in the game. This is our pro sport. Life is your pro sport. Something we say in the Tony Robbins world is the training never stops. So starting today, we are going to be outrageously committed to training the most important muscle in our body, which is our mind. Most important muscle in your body. Most people spend all of their time studying other areas of their life, and they leave this out. Therefore, 10 years go by, and they still aren't confident. And they still can't sell their product, or they still can have that conversation with their husband or their wife about this thing that pisses them off because they've got fear in there. Or they still feel like they could write a book or have a podcast, but they're not getting there. It's because this is what is in the way. So if you're ready to hang with me, because I promise I'll take you to the other side of this thing, but I'm gonna need you all the way at a level freaking 10. Oh, I'm firing myself up. If you're ready, give me that yeah, baby in the chat box. Let's go. Are you committed to making more money this year? Yes or yes? Put it in the chat box. Are you committed to having a tighter ass this year? Yes or yes? More love this year? Yes or yes? More passion this year? Then I want you to sit back up with lots of energy. I'm watching you guys. Some of you dropped it. Look at you. Your body naturally dropping. Snap it back up, and I want you to shout, I'm ready! Hell yeah. So there's 3 pillars I want to cover with you today. 3 fundamental pillars I want to cover with you today. This is kind of the baseline of what I do with, I take a really large community of women through 8 weeks of training. And actually, Tiffany's in this program. She'll be doing it again. We start June 1st. The 3 basic pillars that Tony will say are going to transform your freaking life. 3 pillars. I want you to write this down. PDM. 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 Now, the first pillar, P, I'm going to move my video here. Here we go. Okay, the first pillar, P, stands for patterns. Patterns, write that down. 43 years ago, Tony asked himself one question. He said, why is it that some people succeed and some people fail? Some people make it happen and some people don't. And then everyone has these questions like, oh, it's your confidence. Oh, it's your story, what we heard earlier. Or it's your beliefs. Or if it's your level of certainty. Or it's your ruthlessness and your commitment. And we have all these ideas of what it is, but it's not really tangible. You can have a great set mindset all you want, but if you're just believing you're going to have a good body or your 6-pack abs going to show up, no. It's not about the beliefs at the end of the day. People think Tony Robbins is about motivation. Those of you that have been to one of our in-person events know that it has nothing to do with motivation. It's your motive to action. Most people can't get themselves to do anything. They know exactly what to do and then they don't take any freaking action. Why? Not because they aren't great. All of you are great. Look at you. You smell nice. You look nice. You're crushing it. You've just got one thing that we need to take a really close look at. And that's your patterns. Patterns. If I were to ask you what the heck is a pattern, it's kind of like a habit. How many of you, show of hands, brushed your teeth this morning? All right, all of you without your hands up. You've got some bad patterns up in here. You're working from home, not brushing your teeth. I see you. Good patterns, bad patterns. Your results in your life are equivalent to your patterns. How much money is in your checking account? Your patterns of spending. How much love you have in your relationship. Your pattern of loving. How many of you are running patterns of what you put in your body right now? What you're eating and you're drinking during quarantine? Yeah, you're all having brunch right now. What did you choose? Are we running patterns in the way you communicate with your lover at the end of a long ass day when you've been teacher at home? Moms, you know what I'm talking about. And then they walk in and then you're like, what? Pattern. Everything in our life is a pattern. So my question for you, what I'm committed to in this world, why I created Unleash Her Power Within, is so that I could get women together and help you get massive control of your patterns so that you're back in control of your life. If you feel like that's something that's speaking to you right now, I want you to write, give it to me, KK, in the chat box. Give it to me, KK, Give it to me, KK, I'm gonna ask a question to the facilitators. Can we stop sharing my slides for a second? Because I wanna look at everyone's faces on here. That just helps me. Oh, there you are, beautiful people. Look at all of you. It's like Brady Bunch style. Okay, so step number 1 is your patterns. Why are patterns important? Now, you have people in here like Kaleigh at Orange Theory. If somebody does like a lift weird, like they lift a weight weird one time, are they more likely to do it like that again and again and again and again? Okay, that's called a bad pattern and you learned it fast. So why are these things so important? You're also doing them in the way you care for yourself. So if you take your hands up 6 inches apart and you just put your hands together and you take them apart and you do it again, and you take them apart and you do it again, and you take them apart and you do it again. And oh, what the heck, you just put the same exact thumb on top every single time. Now, your thumbs aren't the things that are gonna make you more money this year, but your patterns are. So some of these patterns you're doing in your life, you don't even know you're doing them. They're called autopilot patterns. Isn't that freaking crazy? We're doing them over and over and over. And is it possible? Is it possible? Like Sarah said, when she works with her clients, they have a story. Who has a story or a pattern that they run that they've been running for years and years and years and years and years? Some of us love our shitty patterns. Some of us love our stories so much. We don't want to let go of our story. People tell me, KK, you don't understand. And I'm like, girl, I overstand. But you can keep your patterns as long as you want. You can also change your patterns in a second. You can change your patterns in a second. It doesn't take 30 days. It's the moment you make a decision. So when you have these patterns running, you know what? Before I go any further, let me make sure I got my sisters. Let me make sure I got the right crew here. How many of you have another level that you desire in your life? Show of hands. And I don't care what the area is. It doesn't have to be your business. It doesn't have to be your relationships. Maybe it's how good your butt looks in your jeans. Maybe it is your intimacy levels. Maybe you just want to be like more loving and caring to your body. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's your decision making. Jacqueline says overthinking. Whatever that area of your life is, the beautiful thing is that we're all so different. Walk into the forest if you want to see diversity. Pick up a leaf. Look how different everything is. It's what's so beautiful. But if we want to get to the next level, we might have to make some what? Some changes.
What?
Yes, Mary's been crushing it today. I'm watching you, girl, playing at a level 10. We might have to make some changes. So do a favor for me. Take your hands and just switch your thumbs. Just take them apart and put them together. Switch your thumbs. How does it feel? Weird, different, awkward, uncomfortable. Some of you are just like, I'd prefer to go back to the way it was. I'm going to give it to you straight, you guys, because I only got 30 minutes, which means I can't sugarcoat anything. A lot of you on this call, how many of you have wanted and desired something in your life for years and years and years and years and years, and it shows up on your list of things you want to do every single year? Show of hands. You are in the middle of the true pandemic, okay? The worst virus you can have is a shitty mind. And this is what happens. You're in the middle of a dance. This time I'm gonna dance for you for free. Next time it's gonna cost you, okay? You're in the middle of a dance. You're stuck between what you desire and what's comfortable. What you desire and what's comfortable. What you desire and what's comfortable. And you're in the middle trying to make a decision. Now, if you haven't trained the most important muscle in your body, which is your mind, then the decision you make is going to shift you back toward what is comfortable, not what you really want, because what you really want is also connected to what you fear the most, isn't it? Being vulnerable, going outside your comfort zone, being willing to get uncomfortable. So what I want everyone on this call to do today, and what Tiffany knows, because Tiffany, I pack a punch, don't I? You do coaching with me, I want it to be the last effing coaching program you do. Women love it. They want to be in coaching forever. I'm like, let's get this shit done. Get on to the next level of your life. We want you to be in the dance and stop shifting back to what's comfortable. Step the F up, move forward, embrace what the hell you're afraid of, and let's go to the next level. How many of you are willing to get uncomfortable? I'm going to take my shirt off. I'm hot in here. How many of you are willing to get uncomfortable today? Give me that yeah, baby. Give me that yeah, baby, because I'm going to change your pattern.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
So dang hard that some of you are going to have whiplash. You're going to be like, what's she doing to me? All I got to know from you
Yeah, baby.
is that you're ready to take a ride.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yes. So pillar number 1,
Yes.
you have to be willing to change your what? Pillar number 1, you got to be willing to change your what? Patterns. Right? That's super important. Awesome. Thank you. Who is Tanya? Crushing it over here. I saw you, girl, giving me some of these. I'm watching you guys. Pillar number 1 is pattern. Now, what is happening when you're changing your patterns? Your patterns of overthinking, your patterns of playing small, your patterns of not stepping up, your patterns of talking down to yourself, your patterns of getting out of the shower naked in the morning and saying something raunchy. All of these things are patterns. If you have patterns that aren't taking you in a direction you want to go, who's got some of those? And also, listen, I do too, because new level, new devil. I want new bad patterns because that shows me I have more to get to. You and I are the same. No one on this call is better than you and has more unicorn juice in them than you do. Everyone is perfect. Some people perfect their patterns better. You are not your pattern. Let me repeat that. You are not your pattern. How many of you are mothers on here? Your kids go to school and they start biting people. Were they born and the doctor was like, hey, this one is a biter, that's for sure? Or did they learn that behavior? Can they also unlearn the behavior? So you can too. If you're good at things that don't bring you results, you can also be good at things that bring you results. That's called patterns. But here's the thing about you switching a pattern. Bring your hands back up. Here's your pattern that you're used to. And then to switch it, you got to be willing to get uncomfortable and take not any action, but massive action to do it. Now what you have to do is try not to shift back to what's comfortable. And the way you do that is by actually making a decision. Pillar number 2 is decision. Decision. People can't make decisions anymore. They know exactly what they want. They know what's great for them. Like some of you on here, you talked about wanting to have a Gals That Brunch chapter, and we are nervous because of the pandemic. So can we control the pandemic? Yes or no? No, so it's external from us. So that means we are allowing the external world to control your internal world, which means that if we don't know what to do, we haven't made a decision. So my offer to you today is that we have to make a decision that we are going to get to our next level. We have to make a decision that you're committed to you. Because as women, we're serving many other people. We're giving all day long, and often we're left on E. We're left on empty, right? So if you're going to get to the next level, that means you actually have to decide that the next level is like mandatory. Otherwise, you might be malleable by the external world, and it might shift you, true or false. And you might never get to the other level because you're like, okay, I'll drop that today so I can go help you. And I won't do that today, so I'll go help you. And we really, really have to focus on making decisions. Now, what happened to the art of decision making? We lost it. If you look at human beings, especially your besties, a lot of your girlfriends, we're making preferences. You know, we have over 600 women in Unleash Her Power Within. And a lot of them, and Tiffany knows this, when we started off that journey, there were preferences. I'd prefer to be a great business owner. I'd prefer to have a body that I love. I'd prefer to put myself first more. I'd prefer to be happier. I'd prefer to be healthier. I'd prefer to have more money. But preferences don't lead to results because there's no decision that is made. The actual definition of a decision means to cut off from. It means no other option exists. To cut off from. No other outcome exists. Yeah, someone says the art of war. Burn your boats is what Tony Robbins would tell you. He would say burn your boats, but similar thing. burn your boats. No other option exists. So once you make a decision like that, is it pretty easy to figure out what kind of actions you're going to take? Yes or no? The reason we struggle with decision making is because you haven't gained clarity on your decision. So today, how many of you feel like you're pretty ready to make a decision to put that higher version of yourself first this year? If you're ready, give me that yeah, baby. Give me that yeah, baby in the chat box. Give it to me. And take that sip. Everyone get a sip up in here of your tequila or your coffee, whatever it is. Now I want you to notice right now how many of your bodies and your energies dropped. When you took a sip and you changed focus, did you drop your body? Snap it back up. Snap it back up, snap the head up, get engaged. So the first step is we're gonna take control of our patterns. The second step is that we're gonna make a killer decision. We are gonna make a decision that we go first, okay? That whatever the decision is, whatever area of life that you care about, it's a decision and no other option exists. You're gunning for that. You're boxing yourself in on every side except the direction you wanna go. Now, pillar number 1 and 2 are gonna help you, but if you don't have pillar number 3, nothing's going anywhere this year. And I'm not talking about next 10, I'm talking about the next 3 to 6 months. Because a lot of you right now are in what we call Rona Town, okay? Rona Town, people are stuck thinking about BR, before Rona, and they're thinking about AR, after Rona. I don't give a flying flock of noodles about before Rona or after Rona. I'm talking about in Rona. You can't fast forward, you can't go back. What are you doing with your business now? How are you training yourself now? Because how you show up now is just exposing who you naturally are, true or false. Your habitual patterns are coming to the surface. If you feel like you've been short and tempered, it's because it's easy to feel great when everything's good. What we want to know is what are the patterns that are exposing when times are hard? Those are the ones we want to work on taking control back. So to make these two things work, we got to focus on the third pillar. Tiffany knows what the third pillar is. What's the third pillar? It starts with an M. Starts with an M. That third pillar stands for?
Mind.
Mind, baby. Yes, mindset. Mindset. 80% of your success in your business, in your life, in your relationships, 80% of your success is your mindset. It's the ability to take consistent action every single day, have an unstoppable mental attitude, the confidence in yourself, the certainty in who you are, the market, the economy, what you're capable of, and everything around you. You're taking consistent action every single day. Why? Because that's just who you are. I'll tell you one thing. I know something about every single one of you. The reason that I didn't do a whole 10 minutes explaining like what leadership is because I know all of you on this call are already leaders. One, I was watching you for the first 30 minutes of the call, flipping through and looking at everyone's cameras to check you out. I'm watching you, I'm stalking you. Second, how do I know that if you're on this call, you are a leader? How do I know that? How do I know that?
Leaders show up.
Yep, you showed up.
Yeah, you're on the call. You blocked out your
schedule
schedule.
on a Saturday.
You blacked out your schedules on a Saturday. You got here. You made it happen. You moved your schedules around. You pissed people off. You got sitters. You gave your kids to your husbands or your wives, and you made it happen. And you're here, and you're playing all out at a level 10. So that tells me that there's a part of you that has all of the qualities that if you showed up as her, the woman that got on this call, if you showed up as this version of you full time, things might look different in your life, yes or no? The version of you that showed up on this call today, that's a pattern. This is one of your really great patterns. You and I are a lot alike. If I saw this flyer and I wasn't speaking on it, I would have been here today with all my highlighters out, ready to rock and roll. I know that about you. Now, is it also true that we have other patterns? We dip a little bit, we be dipping. Sometimes we tap into things that don't serve us. So our goal today is to figure out how are you gonna be this version of you more often? That's what happens when you train the what? Instead of letting it happen to you, you start to create that reality for yourself. So the way that you do that is by training this third pillar. 80% of your success, 80% is the mindset. If you look at someone else and you're like, wow, they're so confident, I wish I could be, you have all that within you already. And you know, my event that I do for Tony is Unleash Her Power Within. The group of women that I bring to Tony Robbins events, it's not just an event, it's a concept. Unleash your power within. It's in there, isn't it? There's been a time when you've been playful and a time when you've been spunky and a time when no one believed in you and you had no money and you had no way to make it happen and you broke through and there was no door, so you built a door. Who's ever been there before? So this woman exists in you. Here's what I want you to do. Feed the beast. She's in there. You're already her. All you need is within you now already. So we're just going to let go of the other stuff. What are we going to let go of? We don't know until we get absolute clarity. So the next exercise we're going to do is going to seriously support you, okay? If you're truly, truly honest with yourself. So my question for you is, if you're not showing up right now in your life at a level 10, all that you are capable of, I want to know why. What I want you to do is take your pen and I want you to draw a line down the middle of your page. And down the middle of your page, on the left side of that line, I'm going to give you 1 minute, that's it. So we have to play all out at a level what? 10. Line down the middle of the page. Right now, if you're in Corona, not before Rona, not after Rona, now, in Rona, if you're not showing up at the level that you're capable of, if there's more inside of you that you can be and do and give, and if there's a level out there that you know you can get to and you're just not there, why? Go. What shows up? What gets in the way? What's ever gotten in the way? What is it right now? For you, what is it right now? Are you just lazy from time to time? Who's lazy from time to time? Show of hands. Lazy asses, couldn't even get your hands up in the air. Come on. Get your hand up in the air. Let's go. What's in the way? So you're for sure lazy. Let me write that one down. Lazy. So fear of failing. And I'm just going to write fear because, right, we have fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being too much, fear of not being enough, fear of pain, fear of joy, fear of rejection, fear of love, fear of criticism, fear of causing someone else pain, fear of getting to the next level, fear of what other people think, what other people say. Yep, if you're a woman, typically what I find is the F word shows up on that list somewhere, somehow. Overthinking, so decision making. And let me ask you this question, is decision making important, yes or no? I want you to start thinking about decisions in a different way. Write this down. Is it a hell yes or a hell no? You know, black or white. If it's a hell yes for you, then you've got to find a way to make it happen. And if it's not a hell no, then it's a hell yes. Doesn't that make sense? Because you know if it's a hell no. Your gut knows if something is a hell no. And if it's not a hell no, then you deserve to explore it for yourself, because typically it's some type of story getting in the way if you're not. Distractions, responsibilities, energy. Someone said time, which I know we talk about time. Every time I do an event like this, I always hear time come up. But what's ironic is it's like the one thing everyone in the world has like equal of. It's like the only thing in the world that's like hands down equal is 24 hours in a day. Usually what impacts our time is how we are prioritizing it. So one time I went up to Tony's brother-in-law, who's my boss, Scotty, and I was like, Scotty, I want to be more as a woman. I want to give more to this world, and I feel like I don't have the time. I'm stretched really thin. Listen to what he said to me. Eyes up for a second. Hear this. It's super good. He said, KK, if there's another level in your life and you're not there, are you ready? He goes, you are prioritizing a lower level version of yourself. Once you make a decision that you must become more, then that decision comes with responsibility. Because is it probably that decision to become more, it might impact your schedule. You might have to change up what you're doing Monday through Friday, who you're hanging out with, what you're doing, what you're drinking, what you're eating, how you talk, how you walk, how you spend your money. All those things are going to change, and it's going to change other people's perception of what you're doing. You have to be willing to feel that, like a freaking hockey goalie up in here. You got to be like an iron wall, because with that decision means you have the responsibility to navigate those things. And that's good news. All of these things on this list, if Tony were in the room right now and you guys were to take a guess on what he would say, I'd be like, TR, my man, you can't see, but I'm 4'11". So I'd be like, Tony, this is what my squad's dealing with. What do you think? And he would say, KK, they can't do it. They're afraid. They can't do it. They're lazy. They can't do it. They can't make a decision. All those things is, what do you think? What do you think those things are?
Excuses.
Yeah, kind of. We have some like more scientific terms we use at Tony Robbins. Tony calls this your BS. Pretty scientific. You know what that stands for? Belief system. Come on, you guys. PG up in here. Let's go. Some of you are saying bullshit over there and you got your kids in the room. Belief systems. Let me show you something scary. All of you on this call right now, we have the version of you that showed up here today. The woman that showed up on this call today is, if your best friend were to call you and be like, hey, I just wanted to take a second and describe you to me. And they were like, Nicole, you're fearful, you're lazy, you have no energy, you're not responsible, you can't manage your time, and you care what everyone thinks about you. How would that make you feel?
You don't know me.
Yeah, like a crack hole. And the truth is that a lot of us, we don't identify with it, but is this a system you're running in your life? Yes or no? It's a system that's in there. It's one of your current belief systems, which is scary as hell, which means that without clarity, you won't know it. Now that all of you have clarity, it's easy to make a what? Decision not to live there. But until you get really clear in what's in there, you're going to keep operating from that system, because that's what belief systems are. They're existing inside of you. You got a lot of them. So what I want you to do right now is circle this. And really be present with the fact that whatever that list is you wrote down is one of your current operating systems in your brain. Ugh. How do you make a decision for your family from this place? Your kids are looking up to you. You're examples for them, or you are warnings. What if this system was installed in their brain? Not good. So what we want to do is name this. What's a nasty name you could place upon this version of you? I call mine Griselda. What's a nasty name that you would label this that does not feel good? And those of you that can't think of a name right now, I want you to put decision making on this list. Get your shit together, Carol, and pick a name. Let's go. Corona, Jessica, Gertrude, COVID. See you next Tuesday. Corella DeVille. Write the name on top of it. Because that's one belief system that you have. Pandemic, disgrace, Cruella. So what we did now is identify that with this belief system, are you ever going to get where you want to go this year? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, you can't possibly make more money, have a tighter ass, have a better relationship if these are the things, if this is the belief system that we're operating from. Now, the good news is you have other belief systems already within you. We want to be the other version of you more often. True or false? So we just have to get clarity on what that looks like. A lot of times people have really low standards for themselves, and they set goals that are like underneath what they're capable of because it's laced with this belief system. So for a second, I want you to shake the body out. Shake the body out, shake the body out, shake the body out, up and down, shake that ass, shake that ass, shake that ass, a little rodeo. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. On this side of your sheet, I want you to get clear. What the heck would your life look like if after this call, you walked away and you never experienced any of these things again? Let's say you did the opposite of that. You think you have fear of success? You're so fearless, it's ridiculous. You think you don't have energy? You're freaking peeing glitter every effing day. I want you to do the opposite of this list, and I want you to tell me, if these things did not exist in your life and you truly showed up with your full potential every day, I want you to brainstorm right now. What the heck would you create in the next 12 months? Go. What would you make happen? Give it to me in the chat box. How much money would you make? Would you quit that job? Would you start this? Would you say I love you? Would you buy a home? Would you write a book? What's your dream job, Taylor? Tell it. Give me the specifics in here. Freaking quitting my job. $10,000 a month. What's in your savings? Work out like crazy for what though? What percent body fat? Do you want to put your old jeans on? Give me the specifics. By what date would you do these things? I mean, working in HQ, find Bay, hot body in check. Yeah, some of you want to find Bay. Some of you want to leave Bay. You know what I mean? Some of you want to strengthen the relationship. Loving husband would arrive by August 1st. Look, she put a date on it. Making friends in my new town. How many friends? What would a Friday night look like? Have an animal sanctuary. When you guys are writing these things right now, look at your body. I'm watching you. Some of you are writing this with resting bitch face right now. You're like, find Bay by August 1st. Do you think your subconscious mind feels good about that? You should be like this. Yes, get up, move around, stand up if you want to. I want you to write as many things as you can down right now. And I want you to enjoy the hell out of this. Splash them all over, list them out, write them. What would life look like? What does life on your terms look like with this belief system gone? Gertrude is gone. Start e-commerce business. How much time do I have? Someone give me a time check. You know me, I'm just kind of freaking flying all over here. What do I have? September 2020, 7 minutes. All right, buckle up, everybody. Buckle the heck up. Switch places, switch cities, switch countries, be a millionaire, do what I want. Okay, so we want love. We want health. We want money. We want happiness. Okay, you guys gave me so much stuff here, but just this side of the list is, you know, this is all the things you want to create. Now I'm going to ask you a question. For you to create all of these things right here, all of this, can this exist in your life? Yes or no? Yes or no? So if you were going to make a decision, like let's say an opportunity right in front of your face and you're in the middle of a dance and you're like, do I go or do I do what's comfortable? Is it going to be easier to make a decision because you know either Griselda's talking or this glorious, sexy human woman goddess is talking? What would you name this version of you? Because she's already in you, isn't she? This is the woman that got on the dang call today. The one that was like, you take the kids, it's gals with brunch time. You know what I mean? This woman. So we've got Carrie B, boss, Beyonce, mine is Sasha Fierce, powerful, queen, yes, Toya, victorious, juicy big papa, goddess. What's the name that lights you up? April, boss babe. Give a name. My bad decision makers, get your shit together, Carol. Let's go. Pick a name. Change it later. Victory. Team Money. Succulent Woman. Queen Bee. Tiger Queen. I can't handle it. Kelsey, message me on Instagram. I want to be your best friend. Vexen. Don't even know how to say that. It sounds so awesome. Mikkel. Winner. Fashionista. Bueno Babe. Elsie the Boss. Forbes cover queen. You guys write that name above this list. So mine is Sasha Fierce. Why are we doing this? You guys have enough stuff to deal with every day. You want to know why it's hard to make a decision? Because you're doing everything. You're doing everything. You're making one decision. You're like, well, how does it impact Jenny and Sarah and my son and my husband? And you can't make a decision because you don't know who's showing up. However, if you made a decision that what you were going to create, all these things that you know would light your freaking soul on fire, if you made a decision that this is the woman you are going to be, it has nothing to do with what's in this section, by the way. It has to do with the woman you become in the process. Now, let me ask you a question that's going to make some of you choke up here. is this woman a better woman for the people you love to be around? How much longer are you willing to make the people you love wait to meet her? What about yourself? Wouldn't it be nice to know her? So when you get time to make a decision, lately you've been doing too much. But if all you had to decide is, what would Sasha do? What would Griselda do? Well, Griselda would piss out, run away, back to her comfort zone. Sasha Fierce would lean in, step up, make the phone call, send the email, be bold, be fearless. She'd get on the camera. She'd flick her hair back. She'd say, I quit. She'd say, I freaking love you. She'd say, I'm in. She'd say, it's over. I'm done. I won't touch another one. This is my time. You don't have to decide. You've been doing enough. Make them decide. These are the two belief systems that I'm giving myself the damn chills right now. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm freaking lit up right now. You're doing a lot. I want to leave you with today a tangible representation of exactly what's already within you. You have a choice who you show up as. You have a choice who you show up as every single day. Do you want to know the difference between these two? It's a 2 millimeter shift in the most important muscle in your entire body. Your brain. 2 millimeters. Now, what I want you to recognize is that some people love this. Some of you right now are going to have to release this shit because you get attention for it. We don't feel good. We feel lonely. We feel sad. We call 17 of our friends and we tell them about how we feel. And then everyone bonds over feeling like shit. And then you feel good for this because you get attention for it. I want us to switch this model. What if you had, there are 180 people on here. What if you had 180 people that bonded over this in your life every single day? If you just showed up as this woman in your life, would it change things for you this year? Yes or no? Would it would you be making more money? Would you be having better relationships?
Yes.
Would people be looking up to you? Would you be looking up to yourself? Would you be able to look in the mirror and be fucking proud of what you see? And Corona can't change that. Your husband, your wife can't change that. Your best friend can't change that. Your circumstances can't change that. The only thing that shifted was a little tiny muscle right between your eyeballs. Here I am giving myself the chills again. This stuff is easy. We make it hard. My question for you is, how many of you are 100% committed to getting in this dance? And instead of shifting back to what's comfortable, never again, you're willing to step up to the plate, do what needs to be done. If you're 100% committed, I want you to say, I'm in. I want you to say, I'm in. Now, I don't have fire outside your house today, so you can't walk on fire, unfortunately. What we do in the Tony Robbins world is we have everybody walk over 15 feet of fire. And when I take my ladies out there, this is what it looks like. We all wear just imagine this. We have like thousands of women all in their denim jacket. We all wear denim jackets that say Unleash Her Power Within. And we charge. I'm like, let's go. And we go outside. At the end of day one, Tony Robbins event, I'm there with you, and we walk over 15 feet of fire. And you get in front of the fire and you enter the dance. Because it feels good to be on the call with me right now. All of you are crushing it. You're doing great because you're literally on the phone with a Tony Robbins speaker. Of course you feel good. The challenge is when you get in front of the risk, the thing that scares you, the thing you don't want to do. And you're standing in front of there and you're like, do I step on the fire? And you're like, do I go? Or do I do what's comfortable and leave and go back to the venue? But you've got your cloak on. You got your superhero outfit on. And then you're like, damn it. What would Sasha Fierce do? Would she walk into the fire or would she step back? What would Sasha Fierce do? She would walk into the fire. So you look at that fire, barefoot, 3,000 degrees, lit on fire, and you say, let's go. And you hit it. And you walk across it. You get to the end and you're like, if I can do this, I can do what? Anything. It's about changing your relationship with risk. She takes risks. She trusts herself. She goes for it. She's daringly authentic. And all of you have that within you now. Within you now. You don't need anything else. It's within you. So you go for it. You fire through. So how many of you feel like you freaking loved today and you got massive value from it? Light me up in the chat box. Let me know how awesome it was. Yes, yes, yes. Best brunch Zoom ever. I love it. I love it. All right. I am not going to give you like Instagram handles and all of that. I made a little text code for you, or my staff did. A text code so you can get all the details. So I have a program that Tiffany's in called Unleash Her Power Within. It's a community of women that goes to Tony Robbins events together so that you don't have to go alone. And I'm there at every single one. Right now, can you physically be in a room with 10,000 people? Yes or no? No, you can't because of social distancing, all those things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can't physically be in a room. So typically what I would do is I would invite you guys to a Tony Robbins event, which I want you to go. So I negotiated with my team to give you like a more of a flexible, you can go anytime in 2020 or 2021. But what we're gonna do for you guys is invite you into Coaching with KK. So Coaching with KK is an 8-week training program, starts June 1st. If you liked this, I do that for 8 weeks live every Monday, and you are invited. It starts in 37 freaking days. Tiffany will be doing it again. What we do is it's a journey, okay? It's a very intense 8 weeks. I always go overtime, so you're getting like 2 hours with me every week. It starts June 1st, and it's basically you're gonna get really clear on this identity thing. And by the time you're done with the program, graduation is going to a live Tony event. So Coaching with KK is typically $3,500. What we're gonna do, because Tiffany is actually a founding member. So before the group was even a group, she was at the event that I decided to create it. And since that moment, it was because she held space for me as a woman, and I was so in my masculine that I needed to find a way to bring community into this space. So Tiffany is a founding member. Founding members, because it was so new, got in at $695, and now the company's taken over the program, and it's $3,500 just for the coaching. It's $1,700 to go to an event, so it's like $5,000 to do the whole thing. Tiffany's a founding member, so all of you are gonna get like grandfathered in through Tiffany. So you should just blow her up and say thank you, but you're all gonna get Coaching with KK for $695, and then we're gonna give you a ticket to Tony Robbins as a bonus, okay? So you'll get the whole package, and you're gonna be able to use it anytime in 2020 or 2021. That way you can do it like post-corona, and you can figure out all the details of what event you wanna go to later. So I'm gonna open up the code for you guys. You can't tell, I don't want you to post it on your Instagrams or anything because it's through Tiffany. So it's a reward for those of you that are on this call today. So your code is secret. Your code is secret, okay? S-E-C-R-E-T. You're gonna get the details. The secret code's gonna be active all the way until the end of the night. We created like a landing page for you guys, so it's in there. The details are really specific. How you're gonna do it is you're gonna text a code, okay? Are you ready? Write this down. Or take your phone out and you can do it with me. I haven't tested it, so I hope it works. You're gonna text brunch to the number 77948. You're gonna text the number brunch to 77948. And so what that breaks down to, you guys, is like $80 a week for coaching with me, which is a flock and steal if you like this. I don't have text. How do you not have text, Michelle? Michelle, email me. Let me give you my email and you can email me. So you guys have all the way until the end of the night to get in on that deal. And if my email is going to be in the text message that comes back to you, and TonyRobbins.com. If you're outside of the US, send me a personal email. There is my email. How many of you are doing it, by the way? How many of you are joining? When you're in the program, you also get access to ladies' nights. So ladies' night is essentially this. We all grab our tequila or our drinks or our coffee, and we get together on camera for an hour. I lead it, or we have a guest speaker. And the next ladies' night is Monday. So you're gonna be included in ladies' night, and then coaching starts June 1st. A lot of stuff going on. I'm so happy. You'll get the text back and it'll have all the instructions. If you have questions, you can send me a message on DM. If you're gonna post on Instagram, I'm gonna actually pose for you guys so you don't post an ugly picture of me. Here you go, get your phones ready. Okay, I'm signing off. I freaking love you guys. You're amazing. Shout if you have any questions. Oh, if you're somebody that's like financially, you're like, I want to do this and I need help. You're going to send me an email ASAP. If you don't send it to me by today, I can't support you. My team's going to stand by to help for the rest of the day. I'll figure out something flexible to help you. Otherwise, get in there and knock your socks off. I'm going to kick it over. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, we love you. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. All right, gals, we are wrapping up here. We just have our 2 final people. So for time's sake and wanting to be respectful of everyone's time, we'll kind of just dive in. We'll do a quick cheers to that amazing message, Patterns, Decision, Mindset from KK. And then while we're getting ready here, I would love to introduce you to our next speaker, who is Jacqui Pugh. She is actually our fabulous city leader for Chicago, and she is a certified full-time life transformation coach, and she helps clients uncover blocks and ineffectiveness followed by healing and reframing with action towards major life changes. So welcome, Jacqui. We're so excited to have you.
Hi, ladies. Thank you. What a person to go up after. Yeah, I had like the privilege of chatting with Karissa earlier, and I have to say, girl, you are magnetic and you are a force to be reckoned with. And Tiffany and the crew, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited to meet all of you. So I'm kind of like Karissa, and I could talk for a really long time about this stuff because I'm really passionate about it. And we both are into neuro-linguistic programming. So I've actually taken some notes so that I don't overlap with her and that I stay on time track with you. So if you see me not looking at you, that's the reason why. So I really want to piggyback off of everything that she was talking about and saying basically, in other words, how many of us are recovering people pleasers? You can raise your hand, or maybe you're still a people pleaser, but you would like to be a recovering people pleaser. And a lot of times people who get into self-development have started out as a people pleaser. And that's when you really get to dive in and ask yourself, okay, what is that change that I want to make? Am I trying to please everybody else? And ultimately, what it comes down to is when we give unsolicited advice to others or vice versa, we're not the ones that are going to bed, hitting our head with the pillow, having to live with the decision that we just told somebody else to make. They are, and the same goes for us. So people might have things that they want to tell us to do, and we like get all nervous about it, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be living with your choices. So most of my clients come to me because they actually want permission, and I'm here today to give you permission to do things that light you up and make you feel good, especially during this pandemic. I know somebody messaged on there that they were feeling depression with everything going on. I'm not going to get into things or my opinion. However, fear is a way to kind of control us and to bring our energy down. And when our energy is down, we make less of the changes that we just discussed, right? So I'm giving you permission, guilt-free, whether you have a family or you're single, I don't care what you have going on, to do things that light you up for you. Because when we do things that light us up, our energy comes up. And when our energy is up, we feel more alive. And when we feel more alive, we feel more attractive in our own skin, and we're more attractive for other people and other situations to come into our life. The way that energy works is like energy attracts like energy. And if we're in a state of fear and of anxiety right now, you know, think about it. If you squirt out toothpaste in the morning and then you drop your coffee and you're like, oh my God, and you're like so aggravated and you're having like the worst day ever, and then your boss starts to yell at you, we actually can attract things like that to start happening in our lives. And our brain is also now, this morning is horrible, so the whole day is going to be horrible. Now our brain is literally looking for things to validate that belief system that we have going on. And so I really want to try to pull you guys in and invite you into switching that around right now, to look at what is working in your life, what is beautiful in your life. And honestly, I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. Whoever you're quarantined with right now, it might not be the person that you want to be quarantined with, right? For some of you, whoever you're quarantined with, or maybe you're by yourself, it is all on purpose. And so right now it's about how can we soak out the juiciness of this situation. So I have a bunch of tips that I want to leave you with, and I have a little analogy that I want to give you to kind of put this into perspective. So I'm sure that many of us have heard the phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's like, what the heck does that mean, really, right? So I might think of an ice cream man, and he's got his little ice cream truck. And he's just like loving doing his job and giving to other people, and he's handing out the ice cream, giving the ice cream, giving the ice cream. Well, he doesn't ever go to the store to get more ice cream because he's so caught up in giving. So he runs out of ice cream and he's tired because he hasn't had any rest. And then maybe an investor was going to be walking down the street and see him like fully vibrant with all these customers and was going to invest in his business. Well, all of a sudden, there's nobody at his truck and he's got no ice cream to give anybody and he's tired. That's what it's like with our energy. And when we don't take time for ourselves. And so if you have kids or anything like that, please, I'm giving you permission to take that time for yourself, whether it's at night once they go to bed or you wake up 30 minutes early just to have time for you so that you can start filling up your ice cream truck, because that's going to make you happier and it's going to make you more enjoyable to be around to give to others. So some tips that I have for you guys on this. 1, as a powerful, fierce woman, your yes needs to mean yes, and your no needs to mean no. So I invite you, yes, Jubilee, I invite you to practice that. And that can feel really, really uncomfy. But ultimately, we are the ones that we have the longest relationship in our lives is with ourselves. And people are going to treat us and give us the same respect that we treat and give respect to ourselves. And so people, if you're like, no, I'm just going to go there because it's coming to my mind. Okay. So let's say that you're on a date and a guy tries to hook up with you and you're like, no, I don't want to. And then an hour later you end up doing it. Okay. There's no right or wrong in that, but now he has learned, oh, her yes and her no don't actually mean yes or no. So I don't need to ever trust them or believe them when she says that. We can apply that to everywhere in our life. So I'm inviting you. Homework number 1, once a week, just once a week, I want you to say no to something that you normally feel obligated to say yes to, or to people please, or to make everybody super happy. Say no to one thing without guilt. And I want you to replace that time with doing something for you. I don't care if it's binge watching your favorite shows on TV because you're exhausted. That's something. We can never not be in action. So even if you're laying there relaxing and rejuvenating, that's an action step. Step number 2 on that part, you don't get to explain why. You don't have to say it's because I'm going to go watch this show or I'm going to go do this thing. We're all grown up. We don't need to explain ourselves. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I'm not available. Maybe next time. Have a great day. That's all you need to say. Okay? So freeing. And if you do this, I would love for you to send me a message. Let me know how it goes because I want to celebrate you because it's really, really exciting and a huge step. Okay, step number 2 is we are at home right now, right? If you have a health goal, which I'm sure many of us do, guess what's not open? Restaurants with greasy food and awesome cocktails. Now is the time to soak it up and just give up the junk food. Go for it. 30 days, make up your mind, see what you can commit to in 30 days. Come out of quarantine instead of, my girlfriends and I call it the quarantine 15, like the college 15, freshman year 15. Don't gain the quarantine 15. Make a commitment to yourself so that when you get out of quarantine, now you get to go celebrate and go to your favorite restaurant and have that favorite dish and have that amazing cocktail and feeling like vibrant about it and that you can fully indulge in it and appreciate it for what it is. So that's my little fitness goal for you guys, is to really choose healthier choices while you're in quarantine. Next little thing, I want you to write a list of 5 things that you love to do. A list of 5 things that you love to do. A list of 3 things that you haven't done since you were little. Maybe it's coloring, maybe it's hopscotch, maybe it's using chalk. a list of 3 things that you haven't done since you were little, and then a list of 3 things that you've always wanted to do. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's a salsa class, maybe you've never done yoga. And I want you to find 1 hour a week, just 60 minutes. And if you need to break it up right now, that's okay. But find 1 hour a week to do one of those activities so that you can start lighting yourself up. Because we didn't come here just to work and take care of other people. We came here to live and enjoy. Okay, so I'm giving you permission to pick something like that. Now, if you are single, guess what is great right now, ladies? Online dating. You want to meet a guy? They are all online right now. I work with so many singles, so many single women. The guys are online right now. And the really cool thing is, 1, there's less pressure because you can't actually meet up with them right now. And 2, you get to get uncomfortable and do a Zoom date. And what does it mean when we do Zoom dates? You get to actually see somebody in their own house. Like, you get to see, is it clean? Is it dirty? Do they brush their hair when they're at home? Like, you get an inside look at what you normally don't get an inside look on when you are out in public on a date. If you are wanting to online date, and this is where I'm going to challenge you on patterns. If you are wanting to online date because you feel lonely, that is not the time to online date. Because 2 people need to come together as a whole. It's 2 wholes, not the Jerry Maguire, you complete me. That's very romantic, but that's not what we want. Because if something were to happen to that person, or that person were to leave us, and this goes for people in relationships right now, all of your value has just gone with that person, and now you're left with nothing. And so during this time in quarantine, if you are feeling lonely, this is your golden opportunity to start looking at your patterns and start doing things that light you up, to start dating yourself and falling in love with yourself. As silly as it sounds, I dated myself for 1.5 years. It took a whole 1.5 years off just to do that. Date yourself, fill yourself up, get into a routine, get into a schedule that feels good for you, bring in those hobbies that you love, and then you can add someone in who's just a bonus. They're just the cherry on the top, okay? If you're in a relationship, right now might be a really great time to start bringing romance back into your life if it's not already there. So little things that you can do, you can play the game 36 questions, or you can go to 5lovelanguages.com, literally the number 5, lovelanguages.com/quizzes, and you both can take the love quiz, because I know a lot of couples are getting on each other's nerves right now. But something that's really important to know is, just because we love in a certain way doesn't mean that somebody else does. So hypothetically, let's say that your significant other is constantly mowing the lawn and doing the dishes and cooking. And you're like, they don't ever touch me. I feel like they don't love me. Like, this is a horrible relationship. And then you're always touching them, and they're like, she's always touching me. She doesn't help me with anything around the house. I feel like she doesn't love me. But it's because your love language is physical touch, and their love language is action. And you might not know that. And when you guys can figure that out together, get a little glass of wine or something and have a little fun date night, figure out the quiz, and you get to start loving each other in the way that you both receive it. If anyone is having sleep issues or anxiety issues, I know you're about to go do a meditation right now, but there's also something called breath work, and you can actually apply this in your meditation. I don't know what she has planned though. And I'm going to give you just a really, really quick tool. I have people reach out to me who are like, Jacqui, I don't know what to do. I can't fall asleep. Clients, I can't fall asleep. My mind, and especially us, right? We're girls. We have these spaghetti brains, and like one thought, like you're thinking about like drying your hair, and all of a sudden you're thinking about lemons, and you're like, how the heck did that happen? Well, we actually cannot have more than one thought at a time, even though it feels like it. So what I'm inviting you to do is to take a deep breath in through your nose, and then you exhale through your mouth. Okay, put your hand on your belly button now. And I want you to do what the opposite of society does. It says, and I want you to literally push out your stomach and fill it up with air as much as you possibly can. Like, I want to see big bellies on this screen. And exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So in our center, that's our gut. And when we can bring our attention and our energy to our gut, it's actually our second brain. And it's also in the center of our body. So if you ever hear center yourself, you want to bring yourself to the center of your body. And our gut is like our second brain, and it picks up on, oh, should I be in fight or flight mode? Should I be scared right now? Should I be in survival mode? Well, when we start breathing slow like that, it actually activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which tells our brain, you don't need to be in fight or flight right now. Everything's okay. Because normally we breathe up here. And when we get scared or nervous, we breathe up here more shallow. So calm your breath down. And if at night, I want you to literally count. I want you to count, breathe in, count in your head, 1. Exhale, 1. And go to 10. And if you end up thinking about something else, that's okay. You can start back over to 1. I do that all the time. And I usually end up falling asleep by the first round or the second round. It's amazing. So I highly, highly recommend that. If you're into meditation, and maybe you don't really like just sitting in silence, there's an app that I recommend. I'm not an ambassador for them, but I want to be. I've messaged them. My girlfriend Emily on here is going to laugh because I'm always like, want her to try it. There's an app called Sync Tuition. It just came out. As far as I know, it just came out. And it's the very first app ever that actually uses surround sound in your headphones. So you literally sound like you are in paradise or something. You can hear birds chirping behind you, in front of you, on the sides. It's amazing. They have a free week trial. I highly recommend it. The second video on there, or audio, is amazing. So I would check that out. And let me just make sure that I shared everything with you that I wanted to share with you. Oh, last thing. If you're feeling any emotion, okay, but let's go with lonely right now. I want you to ask yourself, what is the actual feeling that you're desiring? Because when we experience something like that, we're actually desire something, and usually it's a feeling. So if it's loneliness, maybe it's companionship or romance. Well, the key to starting to build our own confidence is to figure out how to give our own selves those feelings, that experience. So if it's companionship, get a dog, call your friend, do a Zoom thing, find something where you can connect to somebody. And if it's romance, whether you're in a relationship or not, even Chris Evans talks about this. I should marry him because we both talk about romance with life. I want you to have romance with life, a romantic moment. And that can mean, you know, taking a bubble bath and putting on sexy music and have fun with yourself. Wonder Woman says that we don't need men to pleasure us, right? Have a little fun with yourself. Have on sexy music, have a glass of wine or tea, light candles, put on a fireplace, just sit there and like soak in the sounds of the birds and look at the stars outside and literally create a romantic moment with life, because you're not alone. It's you in life right now, right? So create those romantic moments for yourself. And I guarantee you will start to see your world change just by implementing any of these little tools that I gave you, any of them. So I thank you so much, ladies, for having me here. On my website, if you just fill out the only thing that the newsletter is a free 30-day challenge. So you don't have to make it a challenge, but you can utilize it and gain tips. So every single day I have a different tip, whether it's water or money mindset or relationships or energy or breath work. I have a different tip and a different tool for you for the next 30 days. And we're all going to be in lockdown till then. So I invite you to take advantage of that. If you are feeling like, oh my gosh, I really want to change my life, that is what I help people all over the world do. From here to Italy to Australia, I help people all over the world. I also have a program. It's 3.5 months long. We dive deep, like super deep. But we have a lot of fun along the way. It's a very intimate group. I only take 10 women at a time, or 10 people at a time. I do allow men in there as well. And get ready to have your mind blown. But if that's something that interests you, I would love to help you on your journey. And I'm here just in general. If you guys have any questions, I'm here to support everybody. So much love to everyone. Have an amazing Saturday.
Thank you so much, Jacqui.
Thank you, Jacqui. With that, let's take our next cheers break. And, you know, cheers to saying yes to our passion and give ourselves permission to take care of ourselves, especially now. So thank you again, Jacqui. And now we've got a couple more giveaways. So stay tuned to the chat box, and I'll be announcing a winner of another tote, a hat, and then a t-shirt. And we've got a poll going, so make sure to do that as well while we've got a little momentary break. And I loved KK telling us to light up the chat box. So I'm gonna take that from her, and I'm gonna choose a winner from someone who posts in the chat right now and says, yeah, baby. So in a couple minutes, I'll pick some winners, and stay tuned. So, and with that, I'm going to pass the mic to our last speaker of the day. So Natasha is going to lead us out. If you've never met Natasha before, she is an American actress, model, vocalist, influencer, and creative. And she uses her platform and her voice to educate and empower women. How amazing is that? So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Natasha. Thank you.
Hey ladies, oh my goodness. Sorry, my screen looks weird. How do I don't know what my screen's doing. Anyways, yeah, tip or somebody, I'm with KK. Can I not look at my face? Can I see everyone else's face? It's like weird. Okay, perfect. What an incredible morning. Again, I just want to thank Tiffany and all you leaders who put this together. It's just so essential, so timely, and whoever put the lineup together, like so intuitive, because it just flowed. Like these ladies were like saying stuff and I was like, yep, and yep, and yep. So I'm super fired up. I'm just super encouraged. You guys were all amazing. So yeah, I'm an actress and a model. I moved to LA 2.5 years ago, and prior to that, I had really hit the peak of my not the peak, but I was really at the top of my game in the modeling world. I was like crushing it and killing it. But even within that, what rose up at that time was I was going through a lot of crazy stuff in my family. My stepfather was dying of stage 4 cancer. My mom had a serious illness and was handicapped, and all these things were going on. And I got so overwhelmed with this, this fear of like, everything is on my shoulders and I have to be so perfect in order to maintain this level of success, that I actually developed an eating disorder, because I had this warped thinking that, you know, the more perfect I am, the more jobs I'll book, therefore the more money I'll make, and the more I can help my family. And so in this place of just utter anxiety, I was also still working part-time as a legal assistant and was deciding whether I was going to quit my job, and I was just a wreck. And I went to yoga one night, and it was this evening class, and I hadn't been practicing regularly. And it was like a candlelit class. And, you know, with yoga, it's all about breath work, right? It's like moving with the flow of your breath. Can you be present in this moment, nowhere else? Because this is the thing. In our society, especially in America, we glorify the hustle. We glorify the multitasking. How many plates can you carry at a time? You know, if you're going to be hired as a waiter, we want to know, can you hold 10 plates at a time without dropping them, and also pour water without spilling it on your customer? That's how we live our life. And we are so multifaceted, and that's brilliant, but it also takes away from our ability to be present. And the gift is in the present. Like, I know that's cliche and we've all heard it before, and maybe you haven't, but like a present that you receive, like the gift is in this moment. How do I accomplish stillness, presence, and ultimately surrender? Can I surrender to this moment? Can I surrender to this space? And so as I was in yoga and just honoring, like, okay, can I just be within the 4 walls of this mat? Can I just inhale faith and exhale fear? Can I literally inhale faith and exhale fear? I started crying, and it was this incredible release for me that I had never experienced. And from that, I really took that and I was like, how can I, you know, do what KK said and do what, you know, all the other girls have said, and really make this a practice and a pattern in my life. And so what I really realized is that for me, the ripple effect begins with my first conscious thought. So I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. What is my first conscious thought? And that means the second you wake up in the morning and you arrive at your consciousness, what is my first conscious thought? What I want to offer to you is gratitude. So when you wake up in the morning, I want you to do one thing. Say thank you 5 times. Why? This is what I do. I'm laying there in the bed. I'm conscious. I say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Did I miss one? For your 5 senses. So I touch all my 5 senses, right? My ears, my eyes, my speech, my touch. Like I say thank you. We all have 5 reasons to say thank you, hopefully. And even if you don't have 5, you still have reasons to say thank you. So even if you just say thank you, that you woke up with your sense, you woke up with sense today, 5 senses, that is enough. The second thing is, what are you hearing? What is the first thing that you hear? Is your alarm clock like this crazy blaring thing that jolts you out of the bed? Because that actually creates a chemical reaction, right? So if you wake to chaos, it creates a ripple effect in your body that you're literally going to be reeling from the entire day. So what is your first conscious thought? What is the first thing that you hear? And I want to offer up to you to encourage you to choose a song, choose a song or something peaceful, something that, I mean, and just set your, if you have to have your volume on high, put it on high. If you're one of those people who needs to be woken up, if you need to put it on vibrate and set it on something hard that it's going to rattle, but still let it be something peaceful, because that's what we want to awaken into, right? We're awakening into this gift, this present moment. And then the next thing is, what is the first thing that you see? So if your alarm clock goes off, you got to reach over and pick up the phone. Most of us use our phone, right? To turn it off. So if you don't know this, you can actually label your alarm clock as something. So my alarm clock, I don't know if you can see this. Can you guys see that? Anything is possible. Everything is possible. I have a lion, a fire pillar, and a rainbow. That is the first thing I see. So my first conscious thought is gratitude. The first thing that I hear is peace and hope. And the first thing that I see is everything is possible. This is a domino effect and a ripple effect that sets the tone for the rest of your day. And this is called creating sacred space. Creating sacred space in our mind, in our heart, and in our home. And this is a choice that you can choose to make for yourself. It's a pattern, as KK said, that you can choose for yourself that literally takes seconds. All of this transpires within seconds, moments. But these moments, you can dedicate yourself to these moments that are going to literally set the chart of your day. They're going to push wind into your sails that is going to carry you when the waves get rocky for the rest of the day. So that is what I call creating sacred space. The other things that I want you to take down, because I'm trying to move through this because I know we're over in time, is your spirit, is your mind, will, and emotions. So how are you creating sacred space in your mind, will, and emotions? Self-care is spirit care, because your spirit is what drives you. It is your foundation. Your spirit is your mind, your mindset, your will to do something, and your emotions, which are not always true, right? But they often get in the front seat of the car. So that is the self-care that we really need to focus on. Your mind, will, and emotions. Self-care is spirit care. Write that down. The next thing I want you to write down is be motivated by love. I know a lot of us, I know it sounds corny, but it's so true. And we're women. So, you know, we all have a gushy spot in us. If you look at your body, if your goal is fitness, if your goal is physically oriented, and you look in the mirror and you say, I'm going to join this workout program, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that because I hate this about myself? How many of us have said, I hate my this? I hate my this. Show of hands, raise your hand. How many of this? Yeah, I hate my what? I hate my this, I hate my that. Shame is not a sustainable motivator. Shame is not a sustainable motivator. Write that down. I must be motivated by love. So instead of, I'm going to work out because I hate my thighs, because I hate my this, because I hate my that, I'm going to work out because I love myself. And if you're not there yet, you fake it till you make it, and you stand in the mirror and you write on your mirror. Go to the 99-cent store. They're still open, at least in LA. Get the dry erase pen, write on your mirror, I love you. Stand in the mirror and say that to yourself. Look yourself straight in the eyes every day and say, I love you, and I dare you not to cry. I dare you not to cry, because you will. Because at the root of it, we all feel there is a place in us that we don't love, right? And when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we're like, I don't love that part of me. But you have to first love you in order to want to change you, because that's the motivation, right? So we have to be motivated by love with everything that we do, especially, I just love, again, everything KK said, because ultimately you have to love that level 10 version of yourself. You have to love yourself enough to go for that. You can't be shamed into it, because how many times have you tried to work out or tried to do anything because someone shamed you, or you shamed yourself, and then ultimately you just give up and quit because you're like, you know what? I can't do it. I'm never going to do it. I might as well. This is who I am. No, that's not who you are. And it's because you're moving from shame and you're not moving from love. So number one, we have to move from love. We have to be motivated by love. The other thing I want you to write down, if you're taking notes, is this is not happening to me. It's happening for me. This is not happening to me. It's happening for me. Self-quarantine, social distancing is not happening to me. It's happening for me. Every single thing that comes into our life, by choice or not, is something that we can choose to happen for us, because there is always a lesson to be learned. So especially in this time, our perspective is everything. Where you look, you will go. So if you're looking at the waves, if you're looking at the wind, guess what? You're going to get rocky. You're going to get seasick. But if you're looking at the horizon, which is where you want to go, that is where your focus will be, and you will not fall. So this is not happening to me. This is happening for me. And I just want to say that for all of us right now who are feeling anxious and uncertain and all of this, and I want to go back to normal. What if you changed your perspective and said, I'm choosing this. This is happening for me. And what is this time here to teach me? What is this time here to teach me? I would offer that along the lines of everything we've discussed today is that, why is this happening for us? Well, I think the main reason is, that's it, Shayna, a reset, a reset, a reset, a reset. You know what it is? We're operating in a new operating system. You know when your phone tells you, or your computer is like, it's time to upgrade, it's time to upgrade, and you keep ignoring it, and it's like, do it later, do it later, do it later. And then eventually your computer just shuts down. It's like, nah, we're doing it now. That's what this is. We've been avoiding the upgrade. But what is required of the upgrade? What do we have to do? Close all the boxes and shut down. What does it say? The computer starts to shut down. Everything, all the windows start to close. All the windows start to close, and the computer shuts down. Why? Because you have to shut down in order to reboot. So this is not happening to me. This is happening for me. Okay? And then the next thing before we go into meditation that I just wanted to talk about, because a lot of people ask me, you know, how do I meditate? I can't still my mind. I don't know what to think about. All these things come in my mind and all this and that. Meditation is imagination. Meditation is imagination. And in order to get there, you have to be that kid again. You have to become a child again. Because think about this, when you were a kid and you were like playing, I don't know, cops and robbers or Barbies or whatever, you could be in the middle of a room full of people on the floor, all your stuff sprawled out in your magical wonderland. Were you self-conscious? Were you thinking about what other people were looking at you? Were you even, you probably couldn't even hear the conversations in the room, even though there were adults talking all over the place, but you were so in wonderland. Why? Because this is where it all happens. Our imagination is a gift, but as we grow and as we become adults, we're taught to really shut that down and to replace that with the hustle, with the order, right? With the this. No, imagination requires presence. Imagination requires, I'm just gonna be here and I'm gonna move from this place and I'm gonna create this and I don't care who's there and I don't care who's there, and you know? And so meditation is imagination. So I wanna invite us all to find a seat somewhere, and we're gonna try this because I know the music thing was a little off earlier. So I'm gonna try to have Tiffany play the music, and if everybody could make sure that your screen is on mute, except for me and Tiffany, she's gonna play the music as I just kind of guide us through this. So just to close out, everybody just find a comfy seat. Tiff, are you able to play that and then turn it on so we can make sure and hear if everybody can hear that?
Let me unmute myself. And then, okay.
Okay, you guys can hear the music. Can you hear me clearly as well? Just give me a thumbs up on your screen if you can hear me. Okay. I think you can turn it up just a little bit more, Tiff, because I can't hear. Perfect. Okay. All right, everybody, I want you to close your eyes. Inhale a deep breath. Let it out with a loud exhale. And start to shake everything out here. Roll your neck. Roll your shoulders. Shake them out. Bring them up to your ears and then drop them down your back. Another inhale here. Audible exhale. Let it go. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. I want you to just begin to cycle through a few rounds of breath on your own. And as we're coming into this space, I want you to become a kid again. I am giving you permission to dream freely. Permission to dream freely. And maybe it's think about what it was like when you had no responsibilities and you could just dream and you could just lay on your belly in the grass and just create. Find that space. Find that little girl. Take another inhale here. Exhale, let it go. So in your imagination, I want you to take yourself to a garden. Imagine you're in this incredible garden and the colors are like more vibrant than anything you've ever seen, and it's actually larger than life. The roses are giant. There's all kinds of wildflowers everywhere. The trees are more vivid and green than you've ever seen. The butterflies are as big as your hands. You can feel the grass beneath your feet. You can run your fingers across the leaves. You can see and hear the birds chirping overhead. What else do you see? Look around you. What else is there in the garden? In my garden, I see rainbows everywhere. Everything is vivid and full of color. And then look ahead of you down the path and there's these gigantic golden boulders. There's just this pile of golden rocks ahead of you. And I want you to walk towards those boulders and they're glistening. They're so vibrant, they're intoxicating. And the sun is shining brightly on them. And I want you to climb up on that rock, and I want you to lie there on your back with your face towards the sun. And I want you to take another inhale here. With a smile, I want you to exhale and let it go. And I want you to look up at the clouds. And I want you to imagine, what shapes do you see? What animals are up there? What figures do you see in those clouds? Just take a minute and dream. What do you hear? Another deep inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. And when you come to these moments of silence, when you're practicing this alone by yourself, I want you to actually reach out your arms and embrace the silence. This is my friend. This is my companion. I'm free here. There's clarity here. There's no urgency. I can hear. The silence actually allows me to hear more vividly. What are those things that my heart has been trying to say? What are those dreams that have been trying to bubble up inside of me that I couldn't hear because of the noise of the world? What is it that the silence allows to awaken in me so that I can actually have permission to dream freely? And with another inhale here, exhale, let it all go. And with a smile on your face, I want you to blink your eyes open. So everybody smiling. Look at these smiles. Look at these smiles. Oh my God, it's like a bunch of little kids right now. Yes. So, I mean, I could cry. I'm so overjoyed. Your faces, you guys, seriously, the looks on your faces, it's like, it's incredible. So I just want to leave you with that permission to dream freely. And this meditation, this time of creating sacred space, it's the first moments of your day. How can you give yourself and honor the very first moments of your day, your first conscious thought, the first thing you hear, the first thing you see? How can you set a tone for yourself to be able to walk in this place throughout your day? So I hope that just really blessed you. You guys blessed me. I'm just so thrilled that I got to share this time with you. I love you all. If you want to reach out to me, my IG handle is there on the screen, Natasha_Ward, but I'm just so full of gratitude and so thankful for all your smiling faces. And yeah, I just hope that you took this with you, and namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Natasha. I honestly, you guys, I'm so moved to tears right now after this morning. Even through all the technical issues, it was so distracting at first, and you guys all just bared with us, and I'm so thankful that you were all here with us. Thank you to our amazing speakers who just poured out on behalf of us this morning, and I'm just so thankful that you guys have all stayed in. We're gonna plan on, doing some more along the journey. We've talked about doing some fun like brunch cooking classes and things like that just while we're doing shelter at home in place, and some other ideas. So as you guys have ideas, and we're gonna send out a survey, we wanna hear from you guys. Send us an email at hello@galsthatbrunch.com. And then also you got a link to join the private Facebook page. We're also gonna be providing resources, a recording of this call on there, as well as inviting different people to share, just because we want to provide resources for you guys during this time. Normally, that would be something that we're opening up to VIP members, but we want to open it up to everyone that's on the call today for you guys. So make sure you join. And we love you guys so much. One final cheers to the morning. My glass is already empty. But thank you again. We love you guys. And we'll send out a survey because we want to know your thoughts and feedback before we plan the next one. So if you guys could please make sure to take that. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great job, Tiff, and all the ladies.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, ladies. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. This is so fun seeing everyone.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you, thank you. Mexico City, I'm in.
We'll be seeing you, Grace.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we'll be sending out links so everyone can follow each other on social media and all that kind of stuff. So we're excited. Trying to figure out my buttons here. Yes, after this quarantine, you guys, it's going down. We're going brunch crazy. I'm gonna come visit all of y'all. Get lots of mimosas down. Yeah, work on a mimosa flat rate all the way. I know. Florida's next on my list. That's where I was born. So I love Florida. Visit my grandma. Yeah, my grandma was on the call today, you guys. Love it.
Is there a Gals That Brunch Boston?
We had one at one point, but then our city leader moved away. So right now we don't have an active chapter, but if anyone's interested, email us.
Okay.
That's my sister, Tiffany.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Yes, thank you, Anna, for coming.
Thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Stay safe, stay healthy, everybody.
Yeah. Whew. Crazy times for sure. So many people hanging out. What was the VIP thing available to us? It's the Facebook group for VIP members. We're going to be posting like weekly content in there. We're going to have different speakers sharing like quick little 5-minute videos. We're launching a GTB podcast, so you guys will get all kind of first access in that group. So yeah. And we're planning a retreat at some point, all in person. So come, we'll do yoga, we'll have speakers, we'll lay by the pool, have brunch.
Yeah. If you want a prize, we'll reach out to you afterwards. So we'll get all of your info and what we need to do to ship that out to you. So thanks for